You guys want to see the most legit, thickest, and toughest skid plates you can get for the TRX and the RHO? Well, we've got them installed, so stay tuned. Oh yeah. What's up guys? If you haven't already, definitely check out the links in the description below. We've got lots of cool discount links, discount codes for a lot of awesome companies. I'll leave you to the rest of this video guys, and thanks for watching. Oh baby, perfect timing. FSPE cat guard skid plates, really just huge chunks of metal to protect the cat area underneath the truck. Let's crack these things open and see what they look like. Our friends at FSPE toast us, make us some powder coated steel. Oh my goodness. Look at that hunk of metal. Wow, even the plastic is hard to go. Goodness. Wow, look at that. I know one person that might be more excited to get skid plates than me, considering he only has one. Wow, look at that. Whoa. Look at this. Look at this skid plate, man. Oh my goodness. 1/4 inch steel. Wow. Look, I mean, it's about 35 pounds, 33 pounds for that one, I think, and the other one's like 35, 36 pounds. All right, so let's pull the other one out, see what it looks like. This one here. Number 2. Oh yeah. Wow. I don't know if that's how they go. I don't think it is, but that is incredible. That's thicker and more strong than any piece of skid plate that I have on my truck right now. The thickest I have right now, I think, is 3/16. All right, so let's see what else is in the bag. Okay. We've got some hardware. Flip this guy over. Oh. See what we got. Ooh, some nice little stickers. Okay, that's cool, man. Gives a little bit, and that's the good Loctite too. That's the one I have. A little tube of blue Loctite, like the good one too. Usually people don't do that, so that's legit. All right, so we got some M10 security bolts with some aluminum spacers, probably, I don't know, maybe 3/8 of an inch. And then, well, actually, it probably tells us right here. Spacers, 10 mil. Okay. All right, and then they got some seriously heavy duty. Oh, wow. Look at that. Oh, goodness. I was wondering why he used that drill bit, because this is so, he recommended the 1736 drill bit, because this is like a monster rib nut. This is not a rib nut that I've ever had. I've had, my 5/16 is like, it's like 50% smaller than this. Amazon special. Okay, everything's stainless, which is sweet. Okay, so we're gonna see how we're gonna fab this thing up, and we'll go from there. Super excited, and big shout out to FSPE Costas. Thanks for hooking it up, man, and we're gonna check this out and definitely let you know how we like it. Subscribe for more of this. All right, so we are test fitting the passenger side skid plate under the truck, and first impressions is holy smokes, this thing is built like an absolute tank. So I just have the 2 front transmission skid plate bolts in. Those are the factory ones, and then back here I have an idea for a different type of mounting than what they had recommended. They recommend to use a nut cert and put it in here, and I'm sure that's pretty good, but I'm going to put an actual nut back there, an M10, which I need to drill this out just a tiny bit with a little Dremel action, just to open it up a tiny bit for the M10 bolt. And then I'm going to use an M10 bolt to go into there with no nut cert, because I don't want the nut cert possibly popping out the other side if I bash this thing on something. And then the other spot is going to be this hole here, right, y'all. And we're gonna have to drill a spot somewhere in the cross member here, but there's plenty of room to get in there. Maybe not on this side because there's a bolt, this big bolt going through here, but plenty of room over here to just fire a nut in, fish it over there, wherever the hole is, line it up and throw the bolt through there. And that way I've got a big bolt and a big washer inside the cross member holding it down as opposed to a nut cert. So I think that'll be a lot stronger, especially if we're bashing on rocks. All right, that's all it took, is just a tiny little bit with a, not even a cordless Dremel, just an easy, just a little bit of a little grinding bit. Now we can get our M10 in there, good to go. All right, so initially, my thought was maybe I could snake in a nut into here and then use this big window as an area for a wrench to get in. But once you close this up with the actual skid plate, you're kind of limited. There's a tiny little hole at the top. You could maybe jam something into, I don't know, not very good idea. So that's why I had a backup, an extra long M10. So I'm gonna take this, I'm gonna fire it through here, try to do this one-handed, fire him up, in, and then there's another hole all the way at the top. If I can get it through, maybe, yep, right in front of the cat. So you can see the bolt sticking through, maybe there. And there's enough room there for a nut, and it's not going to hit the actual exhaust. And that will provide a seriously strong, tight bond to the frame here. So we're going to do that and see what it looks like. Okay, a quick look at what that looks like. Obviously I can put it with washer size a little bit here, but I don't care, it's hanging off the edge. I'd rather have a bigger washer there. It's just hand tight. And then I've got the just a little thumb nut up there, just finger tight with a washer that obviously is going to get crushed into two. Maybe I'll use a smaller washer there, or maybe I'll just bend it and let it kind of mold into the shape of the arch there. But that is, I mean, look at how solid that is. And it's not, this head is not sticking down any lower than this, so it's not adding an extra spot for rocks and boulders to get caught up. You're strong, Cease. Good job. Your little lemonade stand? Okay, so back to where we were. So I've got this thumb tight, and that's a grade 10, so that should be strong enough to hold. And now the only thing I need to figure out is this one bolt here. So I'm going to tighten and snug those up in the front, and then I'm going to maybe snug this up a little bit and then mark exactly where this is going to be, drill a hole, and I'll either mount it inside if I can get a nut in here with a wrench, or I'll just go all the way through and put a nut on the top if there's enough room. So yeah, we'll be back. And I absolutely love it when companies take the time to make sure that it's engineered the way that this thing is engineered. I mean, if you look, it's lower than the factory diff skid plate. Excuse me, it's higher up, it's more tucked in. So this is not going to create, a drag point. And this thing is built just absolutely incredibly, exactly as you would expect 1/4 inch steel. But look, I even have side protection here. If we hit a rock, if we land on a sharp rock, boom, nothing's getting in there. I wish I had these things. Oh man, I'm gonna have to talk to my man. I got a lot of open areas here. Costas, help me out here, brother. I can afford to, I took the deck system out, so I've got 200 pounds of extra payload. This is about 70, so I need another 130 pounds worth of skids.
What's up, guys? If you find this video entertaining in any way, go ahead and mash that Chuck Norris button for us.
All right, so I just lost my video, but we're doing a test fit here, and I've got all the bolts snugged up, including the two front transmission skid to FSPE cat guard, and I've got this one here, which is an M10 grade 10 with a 3/8 washer there, and I've got a 3/8 washer up top with just a thumb nut with a flange, and it's crushing that washer perfectly. I'll probably add one more washer there, maybe a lock nut on top. But this is all just a test to see where this hole needs to be drilled. So I'm going to take a marker of some kind or a center punch and punch where that hole is. And then we're going to take the whole skid down, figure out where we need to drill that hole, and figure out whether we're going all the way through or just halfway through. But I am absolutely... Hey, see, babe, look at this thing. I've already got it mounted up, basically. I just need to drill one hole. Look at how solid that thing is. Huh? amazing. There's gonna be a second one over here. Oh, look at that thing. Yeah. Show us your stand.
I'm making a lemonade stand.
Nice. All right, we took our passenger side skid off, and there is the hole, or the marking that we need to drill. So I'm gonna go through this first hole and just see what that looks like as far as being able to reach in here and slide a nut over. But I'm thinking I may have to go through the bottom and through the top, and then use the kind of same strategy that I'm using over here, up there, just to make it easier. Because if this is a service item, I need to be able to take them on and off, you know, as needed. Like when I bring it to the dealer in a few days, I'm gonna have to take all this off. So I don't want to have to play like, you know, where's the nut, you know, where's Waldo? So we'll see. All right, so we've got it marked, we've got it drilled, and we've got it a quick coat of some flat Rust-Oleum spray paint, and on the top and the bottom. Let's see if we can get a top shot. Maybe you can see. There's a hole up there. Anyways, so now we're going to let that dry for a minute, and then we're going to put the skid plate back up there and basically do the final installation on the passenger side. So that took literally all of 30 minutes. All right, now that I've got the hole drilled out, I've got this hole here that I just kind of ground out a little bit with a diamond bit on the Dremel. So now we can fire our M10 through. And I don't know if this is the one I'm gonna use, but it's the length I'm gonna use. And then I'm gonna fire it into there, up through there, and put a nut on top. So we'll be back in a minute. Oh, and for the record, this is a 3-inch M10. So it's gonna sit probably like somewhere like that. Plenty of room, clearance to the exhaust. I might actually have to go a 1/4 inch longer. We'll have to see. This is 3-inch, and the bolt that I have going from here through all that is 140 mils. I forget what that is in inches, but it's like 5 or something like that. So we'll see how this goes. I just tighten this one, and now I'm just gonna do this final tighten on this guy here.
Oh, is that the thing I picked up?
Yeah, well, the one you picked up from the ground, but it's the same exact thing. Yeah, it's kind of hard to do this. Man, my belly, maybe. Okay. Okay. All right, that's snug.
All
okay.
Right.
So you can see. Look at this. Look at this. Look at this. You see it?
Yeah.
It's mounted here, the front with the factory transmission skid plate bolts.
Yep.
Still has the hole for the drain for the oil plug.
Uh-huh.
And then back here, we're running it through this frame, through existing holes in the frame. All we did was throw a 140 millimeter M10 bolt. And then here we have to drill one hole through this cross member. We need a 3 1/4, maybe 3 1/2 max inch long M10 bolt here. And good. This is, you see that?
Yeah.
Look at how much extra protection we have. We could sit the entire truck on this right here.
Yeah.
Boom. All right, so we got the passenger side done using the existing hardware up front, and then we added the M10 here. This is a 3-inch M10. I need to get a 3 1/2. I just ordered it. Probably get a button head. That's the one I ordered so that this doesn't catch on anything, because it's a little short. It just barely reaches the top of that nut. I'd like it to be a little longer. And then 140 mil Allen, 140 mil M10 here, fits perfect. 2 washers, a nut, bam. So now the issue is on the driver's side, since we have the diff drop, we have spaced out the front differential skid plate with a standoff like spacer aluminum guy and like 2 or 3 washers there. So I got some more spacers and things that are a little thicker, but I believe the driver's side is going to mount underneath yeah, I think it goes in between the cross member and the here. So we're gonna need to make sure we have extra long bolts for here, which we've got the whole litany, whole arsenal. So we'll see what that looks like. And then same thing with the other side. We're gonna have to figure out, he's gonna go into this hole here with the 140 mil M10 all the way through, put a nut on top, and then we're gonna have to find where we need to drill a hole into this area here somewhere. All right, so I've got a preliminary test fit going on here. This side is trickier because of the diff drop, because we want to space the factory skid off from the diff. And I believe we have about a 1/4 inch of clearance there right now. Can't really tell in the video, but we'll have to figure out which spacer we want to use instead of underneath the diff skid, underneath the FSPE cat guard skid here, and then possibly add a spacer, like a rubber spacer in between the two, so there's no chatter, since this OEM diff skid has like this lip here. So I'll probably add a spacer under here and then one in between. Once we figure out how big of a spacer we need to put under here to stand this off from the diff, then we will figure out how big of a spacer we want there. So yeah, but I've got this side just kind of finger tight in the corner here with the 140 millimeter M10 bolt through the cross member here all the way up to there. This with a regular thumb nut for now. And so once we figure out that situation, we'll mark where to drill this hole, and then that'll be that. Looking good, looking absolutely bulletproof down here. All right, so we've got the final iteration of the spacer situation going on here. For the front diff skid plate, we have the spacer that comes with the diff skid, or the diff drop, plus two 3/8 stainless washers there. Stand it off from the frame. And then also on the driver's side, we have the I think it's M8 by about 1.5 inches. We have two of the included diff drop spacers there, about a 1/4 inch each. And then in between the front diff skid and the FSPE skid, we have a 1/8 inch rubber neoprene washer there. And then on the passenger side, back, we have the aluminum, about 3/8 inch thick aluminum spacer in between the frame and the FSPE, and then in between the FSPE and the front and the factory skid, we have another 1/8 inch neoprene rubber washer in between there, just to kind of reduce vibration between the two. And that is, I mean, this right here is not even mounted in all four corners, but look at that. That is rock solid. So here we just have this kind of thumb tight right here. We need to mark this on the frame so that we can bolt this guy, drill a hole through the cross member, bolt him up, and then we'll basically be good to go. Wow, it's incredible down here. All right, it's not done yet. I still have one bolt to fire through here, but look at that protection. Incredible. All right, let's have a quick look at the skids now that they've been installed under the dyno. This is coming from the front, obviously. There's the passenger side, and there is the driver's side. Oh yeah. All right, now let's take a look from the side, starting on the driver. There we go. Absolutely beautiful. I've never said that about a skid plate in my life, but that skid plate is definitely a work of art, without a doubt. And now passenger side. I went a little too far back. There we go. There's the passenger side. And the really cool thing about these is this is the thickest, most tough skid plate you can get for the TRX or the RHO. They don't make 1/4 inch steel in skid plates for these trucks, except for FSPE. All right, we just got some 85 millimeter button head M10 grade 10 bolts in, as well as some 2-inch wide 3/8 inner diameter fender washers. And so we're gonna put these on the skid plate and see if that finishes up the job. What are you doing to me?
Yeah.
You cutting me?
Yeah.
Dude, don't cut me. Crazy. All right, so we're taking out our bum hex bolt from, I don't even know, I think a laptop mount or something for the truck, like replacement seat bolts or something. And we're gonna, oh, it's getting tight again. It should be all right. All right, there it is. And now we take our, let's see, here is our current offering. Here is our new offering. Can't really stand it up because it's round. All right, we got a super washer here to put on. Look at that.
I got it.
You got me. All right, fire this up. All right, let's try this thing. What do you got? You're cutting me? Ah, dude, your scissors are so sharp. All right, where's our bobber here? Here we go. Where did it go? Oh, there it is. Ooh, that's maybe a little too long. Maybe, oh, there's my nut. I'm gonna have to try and fish that nut out. I might have to put an extra washer there so it's not so close. We got only about maybe a ½ inch to the exhaust. Bo.
Yes.
All right, so correction, this is actually a 90mm button head Allen. And that's actually the perfect length for the driver's side. If you look, there's the head, or the end. Plenty of room to put a nut on, but not too much that it's sticking close to the exhaust. Try and zoom in there, you can see a little bit of it. Yep, so I'm gonna put a nut on there, a washer. And that side, this side will be done. And the 2-inch washer diameter OD washer actually works really nicely here on top of the cross member. Fits perfect, there's no overlap. All right, so driver's side is done. What are you doing to me? Don't spray me in the eye, dude, come on. Driver's side's done. I used 2 washers here, really. Dude, you're spraying, Reed, give this to me. You're spraying me with counter cleaner? Come on, dude. No, it's over there now. This is a 2-inch wide, but it's super thin, so I put 2 there. And it's still way more tucked up than the next skid plate, so I'm not worried about that. This, I would like this to be like an 1/8 or 1/16 of an inch smaller, but I'm not gonna go down to a 1-inch washer here. I know, I set the trap because I want. Can you relax? I know, I set the trap. I set the trap so it wouldn't work. You want me to fix it?
Yes.
You can't spray me in the head then. Watch your head. Watch your head. I could add, just change to a 1-inch, but I really want the maximum amount of, here. So I'm not gonna go to like a 1.5. This is a 1.25 because then it's gonna poke out like this much. I'm not gonna put a 2-inch there, obviously, because then that's gonna be dangling off the edge, but I think that's fine. All right, so let me get to the passenger side and finish up there. All right, so the passenger side, hold on, Reed. The 2-inch washer is too big to fit. If you look, it's too big. It's gonna overlap on top of that tab up there. So I'm gonna fix that and go back to the 1.5-inch wide, which fit perfectly right there. Find my nut. Oh, you see me? Fire that on there. And it's a little long, a little on the long side, the 90mm over here. I really wish I had an 85mm, because it's a little close. Still got a finger in there, but I don't know how much the exhaust moves. Not too much. Let's see what it looks like when it's tight though, because this is still loose. All right, so we got our 90mm button head Allen bolt mounted up here, and there is just enough room, watch your head, to get my wrench in between the exhaust pretty easily. Nice. I would like ideally an 85mm for this side, but 90 still works. I don't think that's gonna have. Because you sprayed it all, silly.
Can I get some more?
Please? Dude, can you, what? Dude.
It works.
Okay, there you go. All right, so I think we're gonna call that good. And now we've got a nice, hey Reed, spray the tire, that's fine. Now we've got a nice smooth spot here instead of like this. Dude, you're spraying my foot. Oh. You're killing me, Smalls. Okay. Well, there's one last look here. Both sides with the button head Allens. Looking very clean. Insofar as noise, clanking, absolutely none. We have absolutely no air conditioning in here. We're still rocking, look at my hair. Oh yeah. Still rocking the set power fan for the win in here in Florida at the end of summer, or start of fall, I guess, but it feels like summer. Anyways, so we have windows down all the time, except right now while I'm trying to record this video, and there is no sound. We did a little thrash at Mama Duke's yesterday. And no sounds at all. The only thing I haven't done yet is rock crawling with it, so maybe on the flexing things might, you know, make a sound, but honestly there's lots of sounds coming from my truck when I'm doing rock crawling, so that's a whole another video topic. But let's just say we've got most of the boots broken on our truck, except for the CV boots are actually holding up right now, so that's good. But no sounds, no banging, no creaking, no nothing like that. So I was super excited to see that, because you never know when you add aftermarket skid plates in between, or compressing stock skid plates, you never know how it's going to work out. So 2 thumbs up. All right, guys, so I just wanted to make one more note on the skid plates. So current pricing, I believe, is around $649 for the 3/16 aluminum. And honestly, that is really not a bad price. This is a huge amount of material, quite a bit of R&D, lots of fabbing, lots of bending. Bending like my face is not bending, because I'm on my way to the ENT right now with a nasty middle ear infection that's like paralyzing my face. So pretend that my right side is over here and you're not seeing it. It doesn't really work. See? Anyways, enough about my face. The aluminum is 3/16 aluminum. They're gonna make they have the ability to make up to 1/4" aluminum or 1/4" steel. So any kind of variation there, it may be 1/8 steel, 3/16 steel, probably 1/4 will probably be the offerings if I had to guess, but I'm just speculating. I don't know what he's going to offer as far as the future, but I'm trying to convince him to, hey, you know, 3/16 aluminum is good for light bashing and some, you know, some light protection, but when it comes to sitting on a boulder, you need some steel options. And so that's what drew us to this company, because he was so open to that idea as well, to help some of us who torture our trucks a little bit more than the average Joe. So with that said, pricing for shock skid plates, 300 and something bucks. We bought in 2 sets already, so the fact that this is twice as much as that is kind of a no-brainer. It should probably be priced a little bit more than that. Shock skid plates like 6 inches by like 3 inches. These are like, I don't know, 2.5 feet long by like 12, 14 inches wide or something like that. So a lot more material, a lot more fabbing, a lot more bending, a lot more R&D, a lot more noodling on the behalf of FSPE. So, but just rest assured that we are going to work on getting either a discount for you guys, which will be in the description below, or a group buy of some kind. I don't know how it's going to work out with the different sizes that he might offer as far as a group buy goes, but all that information will be on the TRX forum, and I'll leave a link down in the description below. So if you're interested in getting in on the group buy, if there is one, or getting that discount, check the description. It'll probably have a link to the TRX forum, which will have all the latest updates on group buy, discount, that type of stuff. As soon as we hear back from the company on what they want to do, we'll put it in the TRX forum thread that we started and go from there. So feel free, drop a comment, let us know what you think, let us know if you're interested in the group buy, and we'll see you on the trail. We're also going to do a long-term torture test probably on these skid plates as soon as we get a chance to really sit them down on some boulders, and let you guys know how they hold up. So stay tuned for that. Thanks for watching.